We are just minutes away from the very first Disney After Hours of 2024 here at Epcot. I have some really big questions I want to get answered tonight. Number one, how many rides can we get done for this event? But more importantly, what are the things that we can only do at this event? We got a lot to figure out, so let's get to it. Hi ho everybody, this is Rob with Ear Scouts coming to you from the very first night of After Hours here at Epcot in 2024. We did this event over at Hollywood Studios where there was some very unique character meet and greets going on. We did it at Magic Kingdom where there was a special fireworks show, so you could actually see 2 fireworks shows in one night. Now it's time to find out what Epcot is bringing to the table. I've got some really big questions I want to get answered tonight. Number one, are there going to be any special characters out and about that we wouldn't normally be able to meet during the day? Number two, what's Guardians of the Galaxy going to look like? It is using a regular standby queue tonight, so you don't have to mess with those virtual queues and virtual boarding groups. You can just get in the line like any other ride and ride as many times as you want. We're going to check out and see how that line is looking a little bit later. We're of course also going to see how the lines are looking at these other attractions. This is a limited capacity event, so there should be some pretty short waits around the park tonight. I also want to explore World Showcase because something that happens at a lot of these after hours events, Disney will shut down sections of the World Showcase. So we're going to go do some exploring around the globe and let you know what parts of World Showcase you can do during this event and what maybe you need to plan to do before the event gets started. When you have one of these event tickets, you can get into the park starting at 7 p.m. If you have a day ticket or an annual pass like we do, you can actually come inside the park before 7 p.m. You're going to head up here towards the entrance of World Showcase, right where that blue umbrella is, where they have the guest experience team. That's where they're going to be handing out those wristbands starting at 7 p.m. The event officially starts at 10 p.m., but you are allowed to enjoy all that Epcot has to offer between 7 and 10, and then the event will last 3 additional hours, so we're going to be here until 1 in the morning. Well, it looks like they are starting to hand out those wristbands over there, so let's go get our Magic Band scanned, our wristband on, and get this party started. Even though we already have our wristbands, the folks up at the front probably aren't able to get in yet. So we're going to wait until 7 o'clock proper to get this party really started. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of reconnaissance, heading up here into World Discovery to chat with the cast members, try to find out what we can expect for the standby queue for Guardians, and maybe see if I can find some of the spots where we're going to find our favorite Disney friends later on tonight. It is 7 o'clock on the dot, which means everybody can now enter who has tickets for this after hours event. I did speak with some cast members. Nobody knows where the characters are going to be found tonight, but I did get a little information about how we think Guardians is going to run. According to the cast members, typically at after hours events like this, they will start allowing people with wristbands in as soon as they've cleared the regular queue. Now, when that's going to happen is going to be different every single night. It really just depends on how quickly they're able to get everyone through who's been using the virtual queue for the day. Right now, that virtual queue line looks pretty long, so I think it might take them a little bit longer than usual to get through that virtual queue, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna stay up here in the front of the park. Anytime you do after hours events like this, your best strategy is to start with rides with the shortest wait times. That's because right now, the park is open to everyone, day guests and people who are here for this event. So we don't wanna waste time in lines that are gonna get a lot shorter later tonight. For that reason, we're going to focus on rides like Spaceship Earth, Journey into Imagination with Figment, The Seas with Nemo and Friends. These kinds of attractions we can check off the list really quickly, and we have the bonus of staying here in this front area of the park so we can kind of keep an eye on Guardians and see what's going on with that virtual queue. Since we're right here at Spaceship Earth, I say let's make that our first ride of the night. Let's go do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our time travelers have been momentarily delayed. Please remain seated. Ladies and gentlemen, our time travels have been momentarily delayed. Please remain seated. Ladies and gentlemen, our time travels have been momentarily delayed.
Well, Spaceship Earth was definitely on the struggle bus tonight. That was a 30-minute ride on Spaceship Earth. The ride is normally closer to about 10 minutes. But when your night throws you a curveball, you just gotta roll with it. We spent about 45 minutes of our night doing one ride, so that means we need to make sure our next ride has a really short wait. I'm looking at those wait times right now, and it looks like our best candidates for ride number 2 are gonna be Journey into Imagination with Figment or Living with the Land. Both of those are on the other side of the park, so let's head that way now. I'm very curious to see what Journey of Water inspired by Moana is gonna look like for the event tonight. I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty empty in there. Might make it a really good time to experience that new attraction. I'm also curious to see if there's gonna be any special characters out and about on this side of the park. This is, of course, where you can normally meet Moana. Also, you can meet Figment here. There's a Mickey and Minnie meet and greet. There's a lot of stuff you can usually do over here on this side, so maybe some of those character locations are going to be hosting special characters for the event tonight. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But for right now, we're passing the Land Pavilion, so let's go ahead and check Living with the Land off the list. To be perfectly honest, Living with the Land is not my favorite ride to do at night. It just looks so much better when you do those greenhouses during the day. The exception to that is if you're here during the holidays and you can do glimmering greenhouses, then I prefer it at night. But if you've got a daytime visit here at Epcot, I would recommend crossing Living with the Land off your list then when you're here during the day. But our goal is going to be to try to do every ride in this park tonight. I gotta say, we are not off to a great start. It is an hour and a half in, and we have only managed to knock off 2 small attractions. We haven't done any of the big rides. So here at this park, the big rides are obviously Guardians is going to be the biggest ride tonight, but also Remy, Frozen, Test Track, and to a lesser extent Soarin', which is here in the Land Pavilion as well. Soarin' still has a 25-minute posted wait, even though we're really almost at the end of regular park hours. The park is going to close to day guests at 9 o'clock, so starting at 9, only folks here for the after hours event are going to be able to get into the queue for different rides. The big question mark that I want to keep an eye on is when are they going to open that queue to those of us here for the event for Guardians. I do think we need to head over that way in just a little bit because I don't want to miss the beginning of that line forming. So I think we'll do one more attraction over here in the World Nature side, and then we're going to head back over to World Discovery. Our whole night's been kind of wonky so far, so I think it is time to turn everything upside down. Let's go visit Figment over at Journey into Imagination. Always delightful to hang out with Figment for a little bit, especially during Festival of the Arts. This is high season for Figment here at Epcot. But now we're actually going to head across the park because there's only 15 minutes of park time left. Most of the day guests are probably going to be circled around the World Showcase Lagoon to watch Luminous, the Symphony of Us. We are not going to be watching that tonight, but if this was your only time being here at Epcot on your trip, you might want to consider watching Luminous. Of the three major nighttime spectaculars here at Disney World, I would say Luminous is my third favorite. I definitely don't think it can compete with Happily Ever After or Fantasmic, which are amazing shows. And this one's good, it's fine. But if you had to skip one of those three, I would say Luminous is the one to skip. I just spoke to a very helpful cast member who let me know that things are not looking good for an early start tonight at Guardians. They're a little bit behind finishing up the virtual queue for the day. As I looked over there, the line is still spilling out. Here's the thing though. What you care about at home is what should you do on the night that you're here. And the fact of the matter is, it's just gonna depend on how Guardians is running that day. There are definitely days where at this point in the night, they're gonna have already finished most of the folks from the virtual queue, so probably that line would get started right at 9. There are gonna be other days where it's like tonight and that line is still spilling out, and in that case, you might not be able to get in that standby queue until 9:30 or even 10. So you're just gonna have to play that one by ear. For right now though, I think we're gonna do Mission Space because in my opinion, it's better to do Mission Space before one eats a bunch of free Mickey bars and popcorn than to do it after. So let's go hop aboard Mission Space. Love doing the orange mission. I actually rode the green mission the other day just to try it out. I always do orange, which is really intense. And I was kind of shocked because green mission is pretty intense too. Not nearly as intense as orange, obviously, but it's not a cakewalk. It's looking very quiet over here at Guardians, so I'm gonna go check out and see what's going on with that standby queue. Wow. I literally have no idea what happened to all those people because there was a massive line and it is gone. This queue is empty. My guess is once this event is really going, this line is gonna get a lot longer than this. Right now, lots of people are watching the fireworks. My guess is the best times to do this attraction are gonna be right now while fireworks are still going, assuming it's opened up to the standby queue. And then probably again towards the end of the night. We might try to come back and jump in this queue right before the event ends just to give you guys an idea of what that queue looks like. Our biggest ride of the night is now checked off the list and the event hasn't even started yet. We've got about 10 minutes. We're in that kind of weird no man's land where the park is closed, but the event hasn't started. During this period, Disney will not be posting wait times, so it's kind of anybody's guess what the wait times are looking like. In order to get into any of these lines at this point, you're gonna need to show your wristband. So theoretically, the wait time should already be pretty low. I think what we're gonna do, let's go check out, see what the wait time is over at Test Track. If it's not looking too bad, we'll go ahead and cross that off the list. And that way, really everything we need to do here in World Discovery will be done. Let's go check it out. That was pretty awesome. I love it when you get the opportunity to get on this ride without having to do the whole car design experience. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've never done the car design experience, you definitely should. But if you've done the car design experience a whole bunch of times and you really just want to ride the ride, it's very nice when they let you just kind of skip right by that. That is the fastest I have ever gotten on Test Track, ever. Even at one of these after hours events, that was amazing. I don't know if you can hear that music, but the party has officially started. I can hear that DJ jamming here in World Discovery. And of course I can hear Test Track. Let's go grab a free Mickey's Premium Bar, a soda, maybe some popcorn, and let's get this party started. Mickey's Premium Bars, and I love them even more when they're free. Okay, this is definitely not free. We definitely paid for this, but we didn't pay any additional for this. How about that? No additional charge for this Mickey bar. In case you're not aware, this event does come with complimentary popcorn, frozen treats like Mickey Premium Bars, ice cream sandwiches. They have some strawberry popsicles that are vegan. And then you have your selection of sodas and bottled waters. I hesitate to say that it is free because obviously you paid for this event, but it is available to you at no additional charge. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to head back over into World Nature. Before we go into World Showcase, I just want to see what's going on this side, see if maybe some of those characters that we were hoping to see are out and about. I do see some lights over there, which makes me think something is afoot. Let's go take a closer look. Well, they are piping in this music from World Discovery all around the park, and they've added a pretty nice light show over here into World Nature, which is fun. It's all synchronized to the music. Unfortunately, we have not found any characters over here. I was really thinking we were gonna find some fun stuff happening in the Imagination Pavilion. Sadly, nothing going on over there. But we do have a couple more attractions left on our list from World Nature, so let's go ahead and cross those off the list. Looking at those wait times, it's looking pretty sweet all over this park right now. Only 3 rides have any kind of wait at all. Guardians, Remy, and Frozen are at 25 minutes. Everything else is 10 minutes or less. And that includes one of the rides we gotta do here in World Nature. Let's go do Soarin' Over California. They changed out the usual attraction this year. It's normally Soarin' Around the World, but they gave us the California Adventure version, Soarin' Over California, for the 100th anniversary of Disney. I don't know when it's gonna change back though. I kind of thought it would have changed back by now. If any of you guys have heard when it's changing back, let us know in the comments down below. I have been looking and I haven't found the answer to that one. posted wait on Soarin', 10 minutes. Actual wait, 20 minutes. That's one of those where we just hit it at the wrong moment. Just as we were coming up, the flight ahead of us had just taken off. Soarin', Mission Space, Test Track, those three attractions really, when you hit the queue, makes a big difference, because if they've just had a ride go, you're gonna have to wait through that entire ride to board. So even though there wasn't much of a wait in front of us, we still had to wait for the ride ahead of us to finish. But y'all, look at the wait times we're seeing in this park right now. I wanna call special attention to this because I have never seen this before. Right now, Remy has the same wait as a Grand Fiesta Tour. They are both at a 5-minute wait. That's incredible. That right there might be worth the price of admission. The fact that you can get on Remy with a 5-minute wait. Before we head back into World Showcase though, we have one last ride to check off our list up here in World Nature. Let's take a plunge into the seas with Nemo and friends. I think we were the only people on that attraction right now. Unfortunately, when you come off, you cannot commune with the fish the way you normally can. In fact, those last scenes, usually you can see the aquarium lit behind the characters from Finding Nemo. All the lights are out. I think probably the fish need their beauty rest, and I can't say that I blame them. Well, there was nobody in the seas, but there looks like a whole lot of people over here at Journey of Water. I think we might come back here a little bit later tonight and see if it's more dead, because right now I'm seeing a good number of people sauntering about. We have been kind of striking out on characters tonight. All we've really seen is Chip and Dale. Normally you can find some characters up here in the World Celebration Garden, so before we move back into World Showcase, let's see if we can find anybody fun to hang out with here in the garden. Gotta be honest, I'm a little surprised that thus far the only characters we have seen are Chip and Dale and Pluto. From what I hear talking to cast members, there's only one character we haven't seen, and that is Mickey over in France. As we're heading into World Showcase, let's take a look at those wait times. Y'all, it is crazy how short these waits are. 5 minutes at Frozen, 5 minutes at Remy. We're gonna have no trouble getting the last of these rides checked off the list. So let's take our time going around World Showcase. Let's start with our friendly neighbor to the north, Canada. We are starting our World Showcase journey in the right spot. Free maple popcorn and some live music. Let's go check out the show. While Canada was rocking, the UK is kind of snoozing. All you can do in this pavilion right now is Rosencrown, which is great. I enjoy the Rosencrown. If you'd like a nice pint of beer or a shot of Scotch or Irish whiskey, that is your spot. But if you were looking for activities beyond a beverage, that's about it. All the shops are closed. There's no band back on the stage, so we are heading on to France. Here in France, I have a lot of good news to report, and I have some very bad news to report. The good news is you can do Impressions de France at this event. That's one of my favorite shows in World Showcase. Mickey is here greeting folks, so you can meet Mickey. There's a special after-hours exclusive magic shot you can get here in France. And Remy is still at a 5-minute wait, so these are all good things. The bad news is This is the end of the line for World Showcase. You cannot go past France at this event, just like last year. I'm really kind of bummed about that. I was really hoping we were going to get to explore all of World Showcase, but alas, France is the end of the road. From here, we will make our way back to Norway, which is where it ends on the other side. But before we do that, let's enjoy all the fun things there are to do here in France. Our next stop is Mexico, where we're gonna find an attraction with a 5-minute wait and a performance by Mariachi Cobre. Unfortunately, Norway is the end of the earth. This is the end of World Showcase for this event. But you know what? There's a 5-minute wait for Frozen. And Kringla is open. I gotta say, if I had to pick only 2 things to be able to do here in Norway, Kringla Bakery and Frozen would definitely be those 2 things. So even though Norway is the end of the world right now, I'm okay with it because we can have school bread and we can say hello to Anna and Elsa with only a 5-minute wait. Let's go do Frozen Ever After. My friends, we have ridden every single ride in this park. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's take a look at those wait times. Crazy, crazy. The only wait in this entire park right now is Guardians, and even that is only 20 minutes. We are running short on time, but I'm gonna try really hard for us to get up there and just see what's going on at Journey of Water. I wanna see if that attraction still has lots of folks over there or if we can kind of have it to ourselves. But I also want to make it over to Guardians in time for one last ride before this night is over. Can we do both? Not entirely sure. Let's go find out. Honestly, it wasn't as dead as I was expecting it to be. It was definitely quiet, probably the quietest I've seen it since it was in previews, but I love doing that attraction at night, so I do think this event is a great time to check that one out. Well, now we have got to make our way back over to Guardians. We literally just have minutes left to get into that queue for our last ride of the night. Posted 35-minute wait over at Guardians, only 25 minutes. Not too bad for our last ride of the night. And hey, we got to ride Guardians multiple times tonight, in addition to riding every single ride in this park. For that, I would say this event is worth it. I have to add a caveat though, which is the other after hours events had a lot more going on. Over at Hollywood Studios, there were some amazing character meet and greets you can't get during the day. Over at Magic Kingdom, you had 2 fireworks shows, including Disney Enchantment, which was brought back from the 50th anniversary celebration. Here at Epcot, you had a DJ dance party, and you had a magic shot. There were actually a few magic shots. We only did one of them tonight, but there were a few special magic shots here at After Hours. And I guess you could say that the ability to ride Guardians multiple times without a virtual queue, that is something you cannot do during the day. But for the most part, there was not a lot extra here at Epcot. With the characters, I feel like they really kind of did the bare minimum. You could meet Pluto, you could meet Mickey over in France, and you could dance with Chip and Dale. Is this event worth it? I think if your goal is to ride a whole bunch of rides, if you want to ride Guardians multiple times, yes, this event is definitely worth it. Having said that, I think you really have to pair this event with a full day in the park. I would recommend Enjoy World Showcase. Spend a day where you just explore all those countries that frankly aren't even open for this event, and then plan to come to this event and ride all the rides, because you can jump in the queue, there's no wait, you don't have to fiddle with Disney Genie Plus. That is what makes this event worth it. Before we go, I want to give a huge thank you to our Patreon family. Thanks so much for making videos like this possible. If you would like to see even more Ear Scouts videos each and every month, head on over to patreon.com/Ear Scouts. We've got special bonus content there just for you. You'll also find some amazing photos that Eric takes each and every month and shares with our Patreon family. And of course, I also want to thank all of you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, if it helped you to decide whether to add After Hours to your next Disney vacation, please help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing to our channel, and then ringing that bell. That way you'll be notified whenever new videos like this come out. Until next time, don't forget to think happy thoughts, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.